I hope you guys are not getting tired of my seed videos because I have a bunch more coming. Today, I have alyssum and I have sweet peas that I'm going to start. And I also have the update for how my seedlings are doing back there. But if you want to skip this part and jump into the update, here's the time frame for that. I hope you enjoy it. So I am going to start two types of sweet peas. These are the ones that you can see here. They have a beautiful color, purple and pink and white. So I think that both of these combined in a container are going to be just really, really cool. I am going to start them in these little newspaper containers that I made. If you're interested in how to do this, in my last 1 or 2 videos ago, I show you how I do this. It's super simple. It just takes a little bit of practice. I actually found a container of oil in my kitchen where I figured it was tall enough and wide enough for my sweet peas to germinate. They are going to stay here until I transplant them outside. Like I mentioned, I want to have them in a container. So I am trying to have 2 or 3 seeds or 2 or 3 plants per container, and I think they're just going to do just fine. The thing about sweet peas is that you're supposed to soak the seeds the day before. I did it last year and I had some that were soaked, some that weren't, and I saw no difference whatsoever in the germination or the growth of the plants. So just to be safe, I did it again this year, so we'll see how they do. And I have the 2 types here. Honestly, I am not going to worry about tagging them because they're all going to be all mixed in one container. But what I'm going to try to do is that I'm going to have 1 seed of each in each container so that they're mixed that way. And I am using Burpee seed starting mix because that's basically what I bought. I got like 5 bags from Menards and they are lasting me forever since I am minding how I am using that this year. Obviously these containers are bigger, so it took a little bit more of the mix. What I do, I basically just add a little bit of water to make the mix semi-wet, and that way it's easier to handle. Okay, so I'm just going to empty the water and then I'm just going to start one by one putting them here. Like I said, I'm not really making a tag for each of them. I know that I have 2 varieties there, so that's fine with me. In some containers, I may have 2 to 3 seeds, and that's fine. So what I'm going to do is just very gently push them in. And if you notice, the container where I have this here is just a regular Tupperware container from my kitchen that I was looking for because if you see, these are really tall. These are really tall, so I didn't really want to have them in a regular 10 by 20 tray. So this actually is going to keep them nice and tight in there next to each other. And when it's time to water, I can just do it from the side over here, and everything will just absorb the water. And when it's time to take them outside, these are super easy to move because this thing is really hard. So that's that for the sweet peas. I'm going to move them to my LED lights on the shelves. Fingers crossed that they germinate well. Okay, so for the alyssum that I'm going to start today, I am going to use one of these trays, not the whole tray. I am going to figure out how many of these little guys I want with alyssum. I only have 2 kinds of alyssum, this purple and the white one. So I am going to cut this tray. I'm going to cut this tray, which is the 288 plug tray. I'll probably use half of one or a third. I have to figure it out. I am going to cut the quantities that I want so that it's all in one piece. I'm going to fill it up with semi-wet seed starting mix, and then I'll see you in a minute. Alright, as you can see here, I already have this with seed starting mix, and the front half of one is going to be purple and the other half is going to be white. So I'm going to start with the purple, and what I'm going to do, you guys, is that I'm just going to get like a little pinch of, oh my goodness, I don't know, maybe there will be like 10 seeds. I did this last year and I had very, very great results. So I am doing the same thing this year. The seeds of alyssum are really fine. So as I am doing this, I want to make sure that I don't lose track of where I am. And I actually think that one package will be enough. Okay, I definitely think that I have plenty there. So that's the purple. Now I'm going to do the white. So I read the package and it mentions that alyssum seeds need light to germinate. So I am not going to cover them. I am just going to let them be. But I do want to make sure that my seeds are touching and are making contact with the mix. And just in case I have seeds on that finger, I'm going to use a different finger for the other side. And I probably have seeds mixing there in the middle there, but that's okay. More than likely, I will mix this white and purple in my beds anyway. So there you have it. I have alyssum seeds ready to go, ready to germinate. I'm going to move into my shelf with the LED lights, and I hope for the best. All right, you guys, let's start with the seedling update. Okay, so we're going to start with the ornamental kale that I potted up last week. I think I have a video on that. And I basically used these little guys that are like the cutest things. These are newspaper pots. And the ornamental kale are going to be here until 2 to 3 weeks until I'm ready to put them outside. They're doing very well. I mean, they are liking it here so far. It's only been 2 or 3 days since I pot them up, but I am positive that they're going to do well. And the onions, well, they're just there doing their thing. I do have a little bit of like a white discoloration on top of the soil. I thought that it was some sort of fungus, but so far I think that it's just the lack of a water softener in my house. And I use city water for watering these plants. I don't use any special water. So I think that that's what I am looking at here. I don't know. I'm honestly not worried at all about this. The onions are doing really well. They're, you know, nice and straight, nice and sturdy. Once in a while, I just come around and do this so that, you know, they get used to being moved around. But I have a fan here all day that just kind of blows over them, and it basically, this is what it does. Let me show you the brassicas. These right here are, just water them. These right here are the broccoli. Look at how big they are already. I had to thin them out at the beginning of the week because I had a bunch of them coming up. I had a very good germination rate on them, and I had to sacrifice a couple of them, and that was fine. That's what I was ready to do that. And these right here are the cauliflower. Look at that. Aren't they so pretty? They're doing so well. And these right here are the cabbages that I got going. I have a golden acre and a early Jersey. I have 3 of each, and look at that. Look at that. The true leaves are just popping through there. Ah, look at this one. Beautiful. This coming week, it looks like we're gonna have some great temperatures outside, like in the upper 50s. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take these 2 Brassicas, cold-loving plants, with the ornamental kale that I just showed you, and during the day, I'm going to take them out for a couple of hours, slowly under the shade, just so they can get used to the wind a little bit, and they get some of the cooler temperatures. Brassicas, especially if you keep them in a warm room, they tend to get a little bit leggy, not because they're lacking light, but because they're in a warm room and they're cold-loving plants. So to prevent that, I'm just going to give them a couple of hours here and there outside in the cooler temperatures. This right here is the Gara that I planted on the 10th of February. And this was the last video I think that I have on my channel about transplanting them. Nothing fancy, just doing their thing there. And this right here is the lemongrass. Again, the same way that I did the Gara, that's how I did the lemongrass. Here are my peppers. Let me go with my sweet peppers here. All of the peppers here were started on the 10th of February. These are the sweet ones. And what I have noticed is that some varieties do this, like the first, not the first set of leaves, but the plant itself, it looks like it's reaching for light. Some of them do that, some of them don't. I think it just depends on the variety. I think they're doing well. These are the regular tame jalapenos. Again, they're just doing their thing there. And here are more of the spicy peppers. So my black Hungarian right here, they are doing really well. I just love how they're doing. And these right here are the Craig Grandes jalapeno and the Jalafuegos. They are doing well. I'm actually thinking that this week I'm going to pot them up. But I want to show you this middle guy right here. These are the poblanos that I planted. And yesterday there was a little bit of green showing here. And today I see a little bit more. I don't know if you can see that there. Probably not. But I almost started more poblano seeds this week because I saw nothing going on. I thought, okay, well, my seeds, I think that are bad seeds, they're not germinating, but sometimes they just need time. And I have a cool room. I give them, you know, I don't overload them with water. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do with peppers, but sometimes they just take their time. The one that I see nothing going on are my pancas. So I don't know. I'm going to give them another week. And if I see nothing going on there, then I'm just going to start a new set with the rest of the seeds. I also bought the pancas from a different company that I have never heard of. So, you know, maybe the quality of the seed is not the best. I don't know. So I'm going to give them another week before I start another set. And I started my tomatoes yesterday. Nothing, obviously. So these are the alyssum that I just started. Obviously, there's nothing there happening. Let me show you the callias. There is some still tiny ones that are not sure if they want to come through. Like over here. If I learned something about callias last year is that they're kind of slow, and just because you have the same seed in the same environment does not mean that they're going to grow at the same time. So they're going to be there for a while before I pot them up. But they're doing really well. Okay, so the same thing that is happening with my onions is happening with my snapdragons. See that thing? It may be a fungus. I don't know. But honestly, my snapdragons are so slow this year compared to last year. They had been here for almost 30 days. And goodness, compared to last year, they're so slow. This variety right here, Magic Carpet, seems to be the one doing a lot better. But this one right here, the short mix variety, there is nothing going on there. And then over here, I have some things going, but not quite. I don't know. I might just not have enough snapdragons this year, and that's fine. I can always find something else at my local nursery. And this right here, if you see this right here, it's where the Gara was. I just haven't cleaned them up. This is where the Gara was. But these right here are the blue salvias. I think that I have 50% germination there. It is what it is. Scarlet Salvia, these two right here. One row is doing very well, and then the next row is, oh, actually no, my bad. These two right here are Victoria Salvia. And this right here, this one row is Scarlet Sage Salvia. They might be getting ready maybe next week to be potted up. And then, oh, the ones that I am super excited are my foxgloves right here. These three rows are foxgloves. Look at that. So stinking cute. And my Dusty Millers right here, they're doing okay. They're not that bad. So these two right here are my, look at that, isn't that beautiful? This right here is my lemongrass. I have 4 of them. I'm definitely going to pot them up. I think this one has 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of leaves already. So they're ready to be potted up. And these right here, they're tinier, but they're not quite behind from the other one. So I'm going to pot those up, maybe in a container not that huge. Oh my goodness, deliciantes, you guys. Let's see, they have been here about almost a month and a half. Don't know that if you can see that I have true leaves on some of them. The light is not the best. I don't even know if you can see it on the camera, but I have true leaves on most of them. So I might just venture and transplant them when hopefully they grow a little bit faster. But maybe next year I won't even bother with Lisianthus. So that's it for this Friday's update, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I really enjoy when you leave me comments and have questions about the plants that I have going here. I do my best to answer most of the questions, but if you would like to follow me on Instagram, I'm there almost on a daily basis, posting things about my seedlings. And if you're there on Instagram, feel free to follow me there as well. And until the next video.